Today with Sam Dotson, who is the warden of the local prison unit here in Lincoln County, and with James Barnes, who is the program coordinator. Now, program supervisor. Now, James, what exactly is the program that you supervise?
Our main mission here at Lincoln is we've been designated as a designated reentry facility. So we have what's called RSTEP, which is Reentry Strategic Transition Engagement Plan. And it's for offenders 1 to 2 years of release that are coming back to this local area, Lincoln, Cleveland, Mecklenburg, and Gaston counties. And there's a lot of different programs associated with this. We basically just try to fix any need that the offender may have when they go back in the community. So there's cognitive behavior programs that we expect them to attend, journaling programs, community linkages. So they're back here in this side of the state. So when we have organizations like Cleveland County Reset, Mecklenburg County Reentry Services, local VA representative, NC Works come in, they're getting services local to this area. And then they meet with a reentry probation officer when they're 9 months of release. They can help give a soft handoff to when they're going to be on post release out in the street, and any other sort of issues that the offender may have, whether it be educational. We have HRD employment readiness programs. They can get their high school equivalency. We have vocational programs. We have 4 year-long vocational programs where offenders can learn different trades like welding, carpentry, electrical wiring, plumbing. They can address substance abuse needs. We have a 90-day substance abuse program. We have AA, we have NA. Any healthcare needs can be addressed through NC Fit, which is formerly incarcerated transition, where folks that have actually been inmates in the past and they're out, they can help manage any sort of chronic disease they may have. Any sort of veterans issues. We can have local veterans representatives come out. We can help offenders get set up with SNAP benefits. Just any kind of need they may have, we just help try to address before they walk out these gates.
Sam, James mentioned NA and AA, and for anybody who doesn't know this, Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. Obviously, I think most people are aware that drugs and alcohol are primary factors that help to put a lot of the people in prison who are there. What would you say? Do you have any idea what the total percentage of people that?
I don't have an exact number, but it's going to be very high. The use of illegal substances and addictions go hand in hand with criminal behavior, and it leads a lot of men and women to this situation where they're incarcerated. So we offer here a drug treatment program. We're actually trying to expand that drug treatment program, and then we provide them the resources of the Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, and we try to tie that in with access into the community once they're released, so that they can continue their care and continue to have that contact in the street, which will help them stay clean.
And obviously, if they don't make a change from that and get back into drugs and alcohol, that certainly would contribute to another problem, and that's recidivism, returning to prison.
Exactly, yeah. There's several different factors that go into recidivism. It's return to the same environment, and whether it's what they call criminal peers or family issues and drug and alcohol issues, when they go back to that same environment, if they don't have a good foundation to assist them to resist those temptations, they have a high chance of coming back into the system.
We ran an article, and in fact that was the beginnings that brought about this article, about a garden that was done here. Can you tell us a little bit about it for anybody who may have missed the early article?
That was a pretty exciting event that we had here, and it's still ongoing. We had some donations from local churches that provided seeds and other equipment, about $400 worth. And then we took some scrap materials and built a greenhouse. Offenders here planted the seeds, they cultivated the soil, they grew the plants, and we have a very large plot. It's about a 4-acre plot where we planted several hundred different types of plants. Because of good weather, rain, plenty of sunshine, we've been able to harvest a lot of fruits and vegetables, half of which approximately we put into our dining hall facility to feed the offenders here, so it supplemented what they were already getting on the standard menu. And then we so far have done about 2,600 pounds now to a couple of charities in the community, and that has been a huge boost to their ability to help homeless and other folks that are just in need of help right now.
Would you agree that time spent in prison, obviously a person loses their freedom, and so they're incarcerated, and but the time spent can either be spent thinking about what bad things I'm going to do when I get out of here, or perhaps making plans to do something different and to change one's life.
Exactly, that is very true. It is some thinking time about what mistakes have been made in the past, what's been done in the past. But then you have the staff here who it is our job to model that positive behavior and to try to provide them with the tools for them to be successful once they get out.
And that brings us back to you, James. A big part, perhaps the most important part of what your program is about is making it possible for those persons who are released to adapt back to life in the community. And it's extremely difficult. I know because I used to run retail operations for a major corporation. And it is a fact that we were forbidden to hire anyone who had any kind of a record beyond a traffic ticket. That's a big problem. How do you address the fact that once one is released from prison, it's not going to be like starting totally fresh because you do have a record?
Right, and we have several programs that do address that issue. We have employment readiness programs both through Gaston College and through Cleveland Community College, and we have representatives with NC Works that come in that actually specialize in former offenders, and they help them navigate those difficulties. But there are a lot of communities that they're passing ban the box legislation, so it may not be quite as difficult now as it has been in the past.
Tell us a little bit about some of the programs. You mentioned in general, but if you can, give us a few of the specifics of some of the ones that you think are perhaps most valuable to help the inmates adjust once they're released.
Well, I think the main thing is to have some sort of skill. And there's a lot of folks that come here that don't have marketable skills. So through the vocational training, we have a lot of people that get jobs as welders, plumbers. They've been able to find a lot of good jobs. A lot of guys don't have the basic education they need. So we've had a lot of guys get their high school education, their equivalency while they're in prison. So a lot of these issues that they had before they came in, we could try to fix when they hit the streets.
Sam, is there anything that people in the community can and should do that would help to make it possible for those who are released from this unit to adapt back to life in the community and to become good citizens?
I think that the biggest thing is give them a chance. People make mistakes in their life, they hit low points, and we try to provide them with the tools and motivation to come out of that hole and to come out of that low point and to get back up and be a good member of the community. And it takes a community support to do that. I can't do everything. Once they leave, they're on their own, so they need family and community support. So just by being a little understanding and giving an individual a chance can mean a lot to a person, a former offender.